Alright, welcome back. In the last video, we saw how to be creating the leads, how to be moving them across stages, and how to be converting the leads into a deal. Now, first of all, let's understand what's the difference between a lead and a deal. As I mentioned earlier, lead is basically a contact information and you do not really know if the contact information is correct. And you also do not know whether the person is really interested in your product or not. Now, once the entity has been converted into a deal, so in my case, I have a lot of deals that have been listed out here. I know that the person's information is going to be correct. And also the person is interested in the product that I'm selling. So that is the main differentiating factor between the leads and the deals. So for example, let's open up one of the deal. Now, if you see, the UI is quite same as it was in the leads. We have the various stages and these stages are different from what we had in the leads. In here, we have the new gather detail specification, mock layout, and so on. So if you want to be modifying any of these stages, you can just go to the settings. Within this, you have the statuses and drop downs. And on the left side, you'll have a particular field called as general deal stages. So once I click on that, we can see we have the initial stage and this is listed out as new. Now, whenever I add a new deal, it's going to be added to the new stage. And if I'm going to be converting an entity from the lead stage to the deals, it's going to be added to the new stage as well. Then we have the additional stages set up according to my business requirement, and you can go ahead and modify this. And we also have the final stage within which we have the success and failed. The success stage in my case is called as deal 1, and the failure we have 3 stages, which is deal lost, competition, and the pricing issue. Once you're done modifying with this, you can just click on save and then go back to the deals. Now let's go ahead and open up one of the deals. So for example, let's open up the one that we had just created, which was develop a website. Now on the left hand side, we have the entire form. Now the form can be different as what you have in the leads. So for example, if I go ahead and modify any of the details right here, it is not going to be reflecting in the leads form. Now on the right hand side, we have the various actions that we can take on this particular lead. Now whenever we work in a business environment, we are going to be calling the customers or going to meet them and so on. So you can keep a track of what is the latest update for this particular customer. You can go ahead and add a simple comment. So for example, I can add a new comment here like met the customer. He is interested in the product. So now I can also attach pictures, I can attach link videos and so on. So in my case, just leave it as a text and click on send. Now as you can see here, a new comment has been added. Now whenever a new person comes in, he knows exactly what was the last status update on this particular deal. You also have other actions that you can take here. You have the wait. So for example, if the person tells you, please do not call me for a week as I'm out of country or so on. So you can just put here as a wait and let's say for 1 week and click on set. Now you can see that a new planned action has been taken and that we are going to be waiting till 5th of September before contacting this customer again. Let's say we want to be scheduling a call on the 6th of September. We can just use the call functionality and we want to be scheduling it on the 6th. So right now you can see we just have the today, tomorrow and 2 and 3 days option. If I want to be setting up a custom date, I can just use this option called as full. Now within this, it gives me a date picker. So in this, let's select as September and let's select the 6th of September and we can set the time as, let's say for example, 11 a.m. We can enter the subject. So let's say introduce our product. And we can also set up more information like the description. We have the deal linked right here, which is develop a website, and also the responsible person who is going to be calling the customer. So I can just go ahead and change this. Let's say, for example, Alex is the person who is going to be calling. So you can just select Alex and click on save. Now you can see another activity has been added right here, which is outbound call. And it's going to be to this particular company, Bose Trading, and the phone number is listed here as well. Now, since I added a new activity that was on the 6th of September, we can see that the waiting activity has automatically been closed. You also have other option of SMS, email, task, and so on. Now, we are not going to be covering up in this particular video, but you can just check out my course and we'll see how to be integrating the SMS in Bitrix24 as well as the email and so on. Now that we have set up an activity, let's just go down and I would like to introduce you another important field which is called the responsible. You're going to be finding this particular field in leads, deals, contact as well as in the companies. Now responsible field is basically used for controlling the access permission. You do not want the leads or deals to be visible to every person in your company. Now only the person who is responsible for this particular lead or deal or that entity should be able to view it. Not everyone in the company should be able to view all the data. So in my case, the responsible person has been set up as Mia. So you can also go ahead and change this if you wish to. Now, since I'm the administrator, I'm able to see all the data, but this is not going to be the case when you're logged in as a normal user. So let's just go ahead and close this for now. Now in the deals, we can see that the new activity has been added in this particular column, which is 6th of September. And it basically specifies that we need to be introducing our product and it's going to be done by Alex. Now on the top, you can see that Bitrix provides some automatic filters. As we can see, we have 28 particular deals without any activity. And in general, your every deal should be having some sort of activity, because only through the activity you'll be understanding what is the next step that needs to be taken to close this particular deal. So you can just click on this particular 28 without activities. And you can either open up the deal and set the activity, or you can just click on add activity from here. And let's say I'm going to be scheduling a new call. Let's schedule it for tomorrow at 2 p.m. And let's click on save. Now the activity has been scheduled for that particular deal. And now we see that there's just 27 deals without any activities. So let's just go ahead and remove this filter so that we can see all the deals. Now let me just give you a quick brief of how you can be using the search functionality. Now to be using the search functionality, you can just click here. On the left, you can see that we have some default filters that have been given to us. And on the right, we have all the fields that are available in the deal. So let's say, for example, I want to be finding all the deals with some particular company name. And on the right, I do not see any field with the company name. So I can just click on add field and search for something called as the company name. Let's search for a company called Apple and click on search. Now you can see that we have one particular deal which the company name as Apple. So that's right here, Apple HQ. So in this way, you can use this efficient searching feature to filter out any of your deals. So let's just click on the search bar once again. Now let's say you are using this particular filter quite often and you would like to save it. So you can just use this option called as save filter, and let's call this as Apple deals and click on save. Now you can see that whenever I want to be using this particular filter, I can just use the Apple deals and it's going to be showing me all the deals where the company name is Apple. If you want to be removing this filter, you can just click on the settings button and you can just click on the X mark to remove the saved filter. So this is how you can be using the filter option in Bitrix. Now there's another thing that I'd like to show you in the list view. Now as you can see, I have various columns here, but I'm not using all of these columns. So you can just go ahead and configure these columns. So let's say, for example, I want to be removing this particular column called amount and currency. So on the left, we have the settings button. Now in this, I want to be disabling that column. So let's just search for it. It's right here. So let's uncheck that and click on apply. Now that column has been removed. You can also reshuffle this particular column. So let's say, for example, I want this activity column to be at the start. So you can just drag this over to the start like this. Now all this that I'm doing is just for my account. So let's say, for example, I want to be doing this particular action for all the people in Bitrix. Now as the administrator, I have some special powers. So I can just click on the settings buttons once again. And let's say that I want to be disabling all these columns and I want to be making this applicable for all the users in Bitrix24. So I can just use this option called as apply for all users and click on apply. And now once I confirm, the settings are going to be applied to all the users in Bitrix24. Now that we know how to be adding the basic deals and how to be managing these stages, let us look at the next feature within the Bitrix deals. Now this feature is called as the deals pipeline. Now on the top, you can see that I have the general option within which we have 31 deals. Then I have another pipeline called as the training pipeline. Now this is quite useful if your business is selling multiple kind of products. So for in my case, I have a tech company which is called Ajax IT Tech, and we are also selling products as well as training services. So when you're adding new deals, the process of closing the deals is going to be different in both the cases. So if I just switch over to my training pipeline, we can see that we have the different stages. The first one is called new. The second one is demo training. Then we have send the course detail training. Then we have the close deal. So the process of closing the deal is completely different in both the cases, as well as the people who are going to be handling the deal is different. So for this reason, it is quite important to be having multiple pipelines in your business. So for creating the new pipeline, you can just click on this drop down, and within this you have something called as the add pipeline. So once you click on that, you can just go ahead and enter the new pipeline name. So let's say, for example, we are doing general, we have the training, and let's call this as trading. And let's click on save. And now we have a new pipeline set up. So if I just go back to the deals, and if I click on the drop down, we have one more pipeline called as the trading pipeline. And within this pipeline, we have no deals right now. Now you can just go ahead and configure the stages for this pipeline. So if I just go back to the settings, statuses and drop downs. Now on the left, we have the general deal stages, training deal stages, and the trading deal stages. So let's just click on that. And these are the default stages that have been created for us in the new pipeline, and you can start configuring these as per your requirement. So let's just go back to the deals. And if you wish to be viewing all the deals, you can just click on the drop down and view all the deals. Now there's one point to note here. If I go to the Kanban view, I will not be having the option of selecting all the deals, and you need to be viewing the deals according to the pipeline. Now there's another thing to note here regarding the deals pipeline. Some of the people think that we can have this distribution in the leads as well, but it does not work like that. All your deals are going to be coming in the single place, and when you're going to be closing any of the deals, and let's click on generate deal contact company, you're going to be presented with the option of selecting the deal pipeline. And within this, you need to be specifying the correct pipeline to which this lead belongs to. So once you have that selected, so let's say, for example, we have trading, and click on save. Now this is automatically going to be added in the trading pipeline. Now you can also see on the top left the particular pipeline this deal belongs to. You can click on that if you wish to be switching this deal from one pipeline to the other. So we got a good overview of how to be managing the deals and how we can be creating multiple pipeline and moving the deals across the pipelines. Now let's move on to the next video, within which we are going to be seeing how to be managing the contact and companies in our Bitrix system.